Are we in? Yes, we are. Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. How are you? I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with those you love to do them with. I'm here with Johnny. Lovely night of Champions League football. What an evening. What an unbelievable finish around the stands. A last-minute, last kick of the game winner by the goalkeeper of Jose Mourinho's Benfica to get them into the final spot of the Champions League. I couldn't work it out. I was like, what? They're winning the game 3-2. Why are they putting their goalkeeper up? But that goal was enough to get them just one better goal difference than the team who got kicked out. I think it was Marseille in the end. Unbelievable finish. We've got all to talk about, guys. Please do smash the like button. Please do hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. We are available on all of your podcast platforms as always. And we are also, of course, today sponsored by OK Jersey. If you're looking for sports clothing, unbranded, branded, whatever you're looking for, you know what to do. Get yourself over to OK Jersey. Find OK Jersey on Google. And wherever you land, stick in code FINC15. FINC15 at checkout until Saturday night or Sunday morning, and you get 15% off. After that, it reverts back to 8% off. Can't ask fairer than that, guys. You just can't. Unbelievable stuff. Big up to them. Big up to you lot for chatting and for being here on time. Big up to you, Johnny. How are you, my man? What a night.
What a night. Well, fantastic night. I think I was a bit hyped up last night. I went on your show after the game. And I think that was
Johnny, someone's at my door. Sorry, mate.
That was the biggest buzz that I've had probably since the Manchester City away game, where we'd actually played extremely well, passed the ball around. Never, ever expected us to be... fans now who are moaning, there's plenty of them out there, who were saying we had a shit group, whatever. They were saying, we could make the top 8 with this group. We could, possibly. We're not going to beat this one. We're not going to beat that one. But all said and done, we had 6 clean sheets and we finished fourth. 6 clean sheets. You can only put what's in front of you. But listen, it was a great night. And I would say in the last 3 games, our club, Spurs, who Sean and I support, we have seen, well, Sean and I have seen it. I don't know about some of the others. We've seen some green shoots of, transitional play, moving the ball a bit quicker. Unfortunately, that could all be undone by the absolutely ridiculously tough fixture list we've got coming up in our next 5 games. Just to say one last thing. I think the transfer window, Sean, is just about to be ignited. I think it's just about to kick off. Strand Larsen to
100%,
Palace.
I'm saying that since November. It's always the same. January is always a Mexican standoff every year. No one does anything. And then now, because the Champions League gets out of the way, then people will start to hopefully see some activity in the next... We've got the Europa League to get through tonight, I think, as well, haven't we? But
but listen. Look, Wolves and Palace aren't in the Champions League, but it looks like Palace are making way and spending the money before the departure of Mateta. I think that's odds on. The question is where. I said at the middle of couple of weeks ago, I reckon that this is going to be a lastminute.com from Spurs. Maybe I'll be right. Maybe I'll be wrong. We shall see. Where should we start? Should we start Champions League?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's only one place to start, mate. The Benfica game. Let's get the Champions League table up. It's unbelievable how it finished. There's so much to get through. So little time to do it. But the Champions League table finishes like this. We haven't got to necessarily start with Benfica. We can start wherever, but this is the table as it is. Where's my page here? Can't find it. Here we go. So Arsenal, 8 from 8, unbelievable, 24 points, 23 goals, 4 conceded. Only the next team that's conceded the fewest goals is our club, Tottenham Hotspur, who finished fourth after a Real Madrid absolute calamity towards the end. Unbelievable. They've ended up going, they were third, I think, going into the game.
Yeah.
And they've ended up slipping out of the top 8. Let's got to start there. The Benfica Real Madrid game. I mean, not only the Real Madrid finish and slip outside the top 8, have to play 2 more games, but on the other end of the table, Benfica needing, as you can see here, needing that final goal from their goalkeeper.
And it was late in the game, so they actually knew. Someone must have sent a message onto the pitch saying, look, we're all level, but as it stands, we are 1 place out. We need the goal. It's as simple as that.
It was there was 5 minutes of injury time. It was the 98th minute.
Exactly.
And it was all down to absolute chaos. Double yellow cards for Asensio gets sent off. The first yellow card in that game for him was through mouthing off to the referee. The second one was just an absolutely atrocious challenge when Benfica were breaking that shoulder up. What a player he can be. He's not always that good, but what a player he can be. He got 2 goals last night. And then Rodrigo being a donut gets a double yellow card and gets sent off in injury time. So they're down to 9 men. And then of course they get a late free kick, I think it was, and they throw the goalkeeper up. So they've got a 3-man numerical advantage essentially in the box. And the Benfica goalkeeper rises like the Phoenix, sends it home, Johnny, and in so doing, Marseille get kicked out of the tournament altogether. Benfica sneak in, and I don't know if this is how it works, but am I right in thinking that 9th place Real Madrid will now have to play 24th place Benfica? Is that how it works? I don't know.
I'm not. I think the draw will know clearly what's going on. I think it's set out. You can play A or B, but I think the game should be already set up. But I think you're right. I heard that Benfica will now play Real Madrid, but I need that to be confirmed. But the scenes were unbelievable. And well, listen. Do you remember the scenes at our club? Right, when Ange arrived and we scored a 97th minute goal against Sheffield United, who got relegated that season. Seems like we just won the bloody cup. I mean, it was embarrassing, absolutely embarrassing. This was on another level, typical class Jose Mourinho. I just want to say, whilst Jose Mourinho is a class act, both in the league and in Europe, there's one, Antonio Conte, who has now failed to reach the knockout stages in 50% of the Champions League campaign that he's competed in. 4 out of 8. The furthest he has ever been in Europe is the quarterfinals, which he reached in his first campaign with Juventus. So whilst Antonio Conte is the big I am in league football, in European football, as I stated when he was with Spurs, he ain't the mustard. And let me tell you, who can ever forget when we were 1-0 down against AC Milan, chasing the game, and he bought off a striker and put on a defender.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Defending a 1-goal lead.
A 1-goal defeat.
Oh, sorry, 1-goal deficit. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, 1-goal deficit.
Yeah, we're defending a 1-goal deficit. But listen, big up to Mourinho. We did say, if you watched the show yesterday, that we felt that Mourinho could do something with Benfica. Never expected that sort of finish.
Real Madrid manager, mate. I mean, they got rid of Xabi Alonso and they brought in the club guy, and he hasn't exactly. He's not starting fantastically, is he?
I said right at the time, watch this space. I said like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Jurgen Klopp. I believe Jurgen Klopp will be there come the summer. That's my belief. I might be wrong, but I think Jurgen Klopp will be there. And don't be shocked if Real Madrid put in some mega bid for Erling Haaland at some point. We will see. He made the Europa final, but we're talking about the Champions League. Talking about Champions League.
Is he cursed? Who's saying that? Potts, JHM. Is he cursed, or is he just not very good at managing 2 games a week, or does he just not care about knockout football? It's not his thing.
You got to care about the Champions League. It's the pinnacle of European football. Surely.
But he's been at the top of management. He's always managed top teams apart from Tottenham.
In the league, yeah.
And he's always done very well in the league, but he's 100%. the two things are true about Conte. He goes to places, he leaves in a tantrum, and he basically financially bankrupts most of the teams that he's been to.
He drops the bomb and leaves. There's
He drops the
carnage
bomb
after
and
he leaves.
and moves on to the next shit show, wins a title, and then does nothing in Europe, and then moves on to the next one, and leaving a tale of absolute like disaster usually in his.
I mean, look, he dropped
wake.
the bomb at Spurs, and ever since that, we've been like a shit show. Apart from Bilbao, we've been a complete shit show. But in Europe, we're a different team, mate. We're a different team in Europe. Don't ask me how.
Yeah, we'll come to Tottenham. Liverpool, easy peasy night for them, 6-0. I mean, Ekitike, once again, mate, some of his football is just unbelievable. The way he can run with the ball at pace, keep the ball under close control, and then just have that sort of depth of touch to knock it through people's feet. He's just an unbelievable player, Ekitike. Unbelievable.
I think that because, I think Newcastle have drawn Karabag in the knockout stages, I think, potentially.
Let's see if I can find the... who will Newcastle play in the Champions League playoffs?
I mean, ridiculous. I mean, I don't think.
Now, Newcastle didn't qualify for knockouts, did they?
Yeah, but the playoffs.
The playoffs, yeah.
That's what I meant. Sorry. Playoffs. Knockouts. Sorry.
Newcastle will get. So the draw is tomorrow. The draw is tomorrow, and Newcastle.
I thought they could get Karabag.
Trying to find it on here.
Is Karabag
Newcastle already know that should they progress, a last 16 tie against either Barcelona or Chelsea lies in wait for them.
Yeah, but Karabag or Monaco it is.
Is it Karabag or Monaco? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, they can only face French side Monaco or Azerbaijani outfit Karabag.
Yeah, so I think they're capable of easily walking through those two. I would say, yeah.
But then Barcelona or Chelsea's a tough one, right?
Yeah, Barcelona and Chelsea is a toughie. Listen, I think the PE teacher did a fantastic job. He set up, tried to counterweight Conte's 3 at the back with playing 3 at the back for himself. And it didn't really work. Didn't really work brilliantly for him. Then he brought on Chalobah and Gittins, went to a back 4, and João Pedro did his thing. 2 fantastic goals. He's a proper player. I always loved him when he was at, was it Watford, wasn't it? Was it Watford? Yeah, Watford. I would have liked him at our club. Then Brighton, then Chelsea, now Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne got the equaliser for Napoli. I actually thought Napoli would win the game last night, got to be honest, but Chelsea did really, really well. It's a great away win for them.
Fantastic away win, gets them 6th. Like I say, I mean, it's difficult. Barcelona or Chelsea, it's so, mate, if you look at the teams that are in that pack of 24, right? Let me bring this up again on the screen. Like, to have got for Tottenham, we'll come to Tottenham in a minute, but just like to see that basically Newcastle, if they do get past Monaco or Karabag, then for me to then have to play Real Madrid, then have to play Barcelona or Chelsea that sit 5th and 6th is where's my screen again? I can't find it. Sorry, 5th and 6th. I mean, you just go look at the teams that win now: Madrid, Inter, PSG. Like, are we? I mean, Tottenham, again, we'll come to Tottenham. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. Madrid, Inter, PSG, Newcastle, Juve, Atletico, Galatasaray, not easy. Benfica is not going to be easy. Like, there's teams in there. Even Monaco, we struggled away at Monaco, didn't we? Tottenham did. There's all those teams. There's not going to be any. Even Club Brugge, right? You don't really want to play at home. You should be able to get Club Brugge's number. But if you go to Brugge first and you end up losing the first leg 3-0 or something, which you could do because they play unbelievable football at home. Away from home, they're toilet, but it's going to be a tough game. Tough game.
I was speaking to my mate DAZN, Dave. Big shout out to you if you're listening, mate. And he was saying that it's amazing how well Brugge have done, considering how many players they have sold in the last 2 years and still maintaining this sort of appearance in the Champions League and doing well and holding their own. Stankovic, who I'm a massive fan of, it's rumoured that he's twerking for Inter Milan. That's the sort of player that you go out and sign, Sean. He scored again last night. A real talent. His dad was a baller. And I think Stankovic is going to be a baller. There's no easy games. I mean, Spurs look like they're going to end up playing Juventus. We'll come on to them in a minute. But I don't think Juventus have lost a game, have they? One game they lost.
Juventus lost one game, yeah.
Yeah, one game.
Tough
game.
I think who that was.
I'd love Bruges in the next round. That's my dream, Spurs King, to get Bruges in the next round. Nice, easy trip. Don't want to go to Galatasaray. You know, I don't want Galatasaray. I certainly don't want turgid Atletico Madrid. Let's go on to the next game, Sean. What's Arsenal made lightweight of the? It sounded like a car manufacturer. The name of their team. What were they called?
Kairat.
Something Kairat. But what was the first?
Their first name is.
Sounds like a car manufacturer.
I thought it was just FC Kairat or Kairat Almaty or something. Almaty?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds like one of these sort of like European.
Kairat Almaty. I think it is Almaty.
Kairat Almaty. Sounds like one of these new Chinese car manufacturers that you'd never heard of that starts producing cars with three wheels.
They won 3-2 though. It wasn't. You know.
They had the kids on last night.
Jorginho equalises for Kairat from a penalty spot. Ricardinho gets one back late, but Arsenal 3-2 on the night. But they obviously
they were in cruise mode. They had the kids on, Sean. They brought a lot of the kids. Karl Havertz back on the score sheet. I mean, imagine he's been out. I mean, imagine getting him back.
Mate, just quickly, listen to their team, right? So they had Kepa in goal, Ben White, Mosquera, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly, Havertz, Norgard, Eze, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Martinelli. I mean, that's their B team, but it's still a very, very strong team, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Honestly, that's their B team. It's embarrassing, mate. They're the riches, right? And then look at their bench, and then we'll get on to ours. We'll look at our bench last night.
Their bench had, here we go. Their bench had, let me bring it up again. Hincapi, Odegaard, Jesus, Ibrahim, Brandon Bailey, Joseph, I'm not familiar with him. Gabriel, Saka, Trossard, don't know Setford, Zubamendi, don't know Porter, and I'm not sure of Salmon.
Yeah,
that one. But he's just got a wealth of unbelievable talent, hasn't he?
Yeah, and amazing kids as well coming through on their conveyor belt. So listen, I think right now as it stands, Arsenal must be clear favourites. Only conceded 4 goals in 8 games, unbeaten in every game. And they've had some tough games. Let's be serious. They've had tougher games than Spurs by a long shot. They played Bayern Munich. They played Inter Milan. Trying to think some of the other games they played. But far, far tougher than the games that we faced. But, you know, when the draw came, you know, PSG, Borussia Dortmund, they're not easy games, you would say on paper. I just don't think any game is easy right now in the Champions League, especially from this point on. And I remember the ridicule when we drew from our own fan base, Sean, when we drew 2-2 with Bodo Glimt. What a shocking performance that was to draw 2-2 away when Bodo Glimt had beaten Manchester City and Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
So
they have. Yeah, no, listen, like Bodo Glimt are just a weird team. Like that guy Hoga and Hogg
scored again.
Scored again. I mean, most of their goals come from those two players. I think, but one of them's linked to Norwich for like 8 million quid today. You know, so like, but he also went. I think it's Hogo,
isn't it?
Casper Hogg. I forget the guy's first name. He went 11 games without a goal, and then he scores two the other week in the home game against whoever it was they played before. Who was it they played last time around that they won?
Man City, wasn't it?
Man City, that's it. Good man. And then he scored last night. He's going to go to Norwich. You know, what are we doing?
Well, this Hogo scored 2 against us, Sean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
they've got 2 cracking players, and they're very, very good on the on the artificial pitch. You know.
Well, listen,
See what they do.
he scored Atletico Madrid last night, not on one of the synthetic pitches. So, listen, Bodo Glimt, the amount of money that they've earned now will keep them going for years. I mean, if you see the size of the club, the amount of money that they've made from those 2 wins, and the Champions League, entering the Champions League, making it through to the knockout stages, fantastic to see. Because that money will now be invested into Norwegian football, which is what you want to see. I personally, I don't know about everyone else, there's a lot of people who are up in arms about this format. For me, I prefer this all day long over that boring 4 in a group.
100%. 100%.
It was a great
decision. It throws in a bit more jeopardy, doesn't it? Like, you know, the previous system where you're playing everyone twice, home and away, like it's, you know who you've got, the pots are seeded, and then you basically, like the number 1 seeds are generally going to win at home. And even if they get a tough game, like there's always one group of death. But this way, you know, it depends on like how lucky you get. But you could end up getting some absolutely brutal ties away from home in the arse end of nowhere. Even if you're a highly seeded player, it's a highly seeded team. So it's much better. Let's talk about Sporting, mate. Sporting have snuck themselves into the top 8. Unbelievable for them. A Portuguese team getting into the top 8 when PSG, Inter, Real Madrid, Newcastle, Juventus, Atletico, none of these guys can do it. You've got to give full props to the.
To Sporting. Ruben Amorim, who?
Exactly, yeah. Going away to Atletico Club to Bilbao, your club. Second in the league, second in their league as well, behind Porto.
Yeah.
And Porto, they've only lost 1 game in their league football. And I think they've only lost, is it 2 games did they lose in they've lost 3 games all season. And I don't know about their cup form, but in terms of the Champions League, very impressive. Very, very impressive.
Sporting always, listen, Portuguese football and Brazilian football are the most intertwined leagues. You know, playing the beautiful game, old school, beautifully technical players, and a lot of players, obviously, a lot of Portuguese for years. Portugal was always had first mover advantage on the Brazilian league. I think a lot of that is moved away now. A lot of the Premier League clubs and European clubs have entered that market, but Portugal's still producing great players, and I'm sure
they've got a great team. They've still got a great team, right? They've got Trincao, who's a fantastic player. Morten Hulman, we've spoken about him forever. Araujo, the left back. Gonçalo Inácio, the centre back that I'd like Tottenham to get hold of, or his playing partner Usman Diomande. Another Diomande. Fresneda, decent right back as well. They've got some good players, and they on the bench. They've got Mateus Reis, who's a brilliant option. Pedro Gonçalves. It looks like they've got. I don't know if they've got too many injuries, but even players like Eduardo Quaresma are coming through. Right, from what I've heard, that he's supposed to be a real talent in the Portuguese system. They've got a decent first 11 with a couple of options on the bench. I don't think people will probably sit there and go, I don't mind getting Sporting Lisbon in a knockout game, but actually, they're a big threat. They're a big threat, and fair play to them. You know.
Just to say, Harry Kane last night scored his 35th goal of the season in Bayern Munich's win. I mean, unbelievable. 35 goals, and we're in January.
Unbelievable.
The guy's a machine. The guy's an absolute machine. He's actually gone up a level, Sean, to what he was at Spurs.
Playing with better players, playing in an easier league.
Correct. Correct. But he scored in the Champions League. His numbers are great in the Champions League. Who else? I'm just trying to think now. Borussia Dortmund, Inter Milan. Obviously, they're going to be a danger to anyone. That's about it, really. I think.
Yeah, we'll talk about Tottenham. Club. Yeah, about Tottenham. Yeah, I mean Tottenham absolutely consummate ease, mate. The first 90-minute performance we've seen from Thomas Frank, arguably. Obviously, Frankfurt, we're trying to low block the game. Didn't have anything to play for, but we're trying to cop block our progression. We get that goal in the first couple of minutes. I still don't know if that should have been ruled off or not. I mean, have you seen the replay? I still think it's.
Saw Odegaard. Listen, I saw Odegaard. I thought it was soft, but Odegaard pulled him, but the guy's thrown himself down on the ground.
I thought it was Udogie. Was it Odegaard?
I thought it was Odegaard.
Right, listen, sorry.
I've only seen it once. I just seen it once. I thought it was.
Mate,
I thought it was.
Last night I had to apologise on my watch log. So I tell you this. I told someone this morning. I was like, it's it's a good pass there from Jed Spence. Oh no, wait. Sorry, that's Udogie. Oh no, wait, no, it was Pape Sarr. Sorry for the racism. Sorry, because I couldn't get the stream up on my IPTV, so I could only watch the game on this little square on my laptop.
I was watching it on the system that should not be mentioned, but I thought it looked. I haven't watched it again, but while
it was Udogie. Apparently, it was Udogie.
It was Udogie. Okay, beg your pardon, guys. I take it all back. But Glenn Hoddle was doing his usual. Oh man, I can't listen to that guy. He's so down on Spurs. It's embarrassing, mate. Like, Spencer's got to do better. Xavi Simons has got. Everyone's got to do better, mate. We're dominating the game. Oh, by the way, for Thomas Frank sexuals, as we are called, or they are called, and people call me, even though I just said I thought you do well at the club. Thomas Frank has finished above Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick, Pep Guardiola, Diego Simeone, Antonio Costa, and Jose Mourinho in his debut Champions League season. That's not me. That was sent to me this morning, just for a bit of stupid banter. But look, there was lots of positives. I thought Xavi Simons did well progressing the ball. Final ball, though, in the second half, man. If he could deliver that final ball, we probably would have had another couple of goals. Kolo Muani's twin brother turned up last night, like he actually gave a shit. I said to you at halftime, Sean, I thought he turned up, and I like the fact that Thomas Frank said that the post game that all very good. Maybe he can turn up in the league game now. I like that. Bit spicy, Sean. Bit spicy. Yeah.
Well, do you think he had a better game last night?
I thought he had a better game last night. Definitely. He seemed interested. He was making the runs. I absolutely love Cuti Romero last night. I know he was at fault for the Larson effort in the first half, but give me the ball, man. I want to score the goal. Give me the ball, right? Give me the ball. He's receiving the ball. He's assisting with headers. Another assist last night. 4 games, 3 goals, 1 assist in the last 4 games. But he's involved in every single thing. And the other thing I want to say big up to our set piece coach, because what I'm seeing now is variety. I'm seeing variety in the set pieces. I'm seeing us go short, go long. It's certainly not predictable. And last but not least, I'm going to give props. I've mentioned it before. I think Heitinger is the one that's making the difference. I really do believe that. I don't see how it's a coincidence that suddenly we are progressing the ball quicker and our transitions are better, all in the 3 games since he's been here. He had a week before the first game. I know we haven't won all of them, but I see green shoots. Okay. I don't see recovery. I just see some green shoots. And it's just a shame for me that we're now rolling into one of the toughest fixtures you could basically have. The next 5.
I think so, mate. I think so. I think for me, this result, and I've got to ask you a question about something because it's Tottenham related, but it's not necessarily Champions League related. But I think this result for me should be able to invoke some sort of momentum and reaction and manifest into good things. I think that the players looked like they were free to play. They were happier. Xavi Simons was smiling the whole time. I thought everyone's saying he had an absolutely, like, almost a perfect game. I still think he's sloppy with some of his offlays and his passing, but his stats look very good. Romero had a very good game, although I would still say he was the 2 chances that Frankfurt had. One of them was a complete abdication of positional responsibility from Romero. But look, he gets forward and he was did all the stats look right. What I would say though, there are a hell of a lot of people, and I've been going back and forth about this in my WhatsApp group today. There's a few people in there. I can't believe it that they are so willing. They hate Arsenal so much that they want Tottenham to lose against Manchester City because they don't think there's any threat of relegation. I don't know how they can be so confident of that. But they think there's no threat of relegation, and they think that you know, the idea of Arsenal winning the league is so abhorrent to them. To me, like I can't get on board that. Like it might be because I just don't know any Arsenal, or I don't have any close friends that are Arsenal fans, or that I just don't give a shit about the banter that you get in that scenario. I don't know. You're from North London, Johnny, so you might know a hell of a lot of Arsenal fans. Like in an ideal world, obviously Arsenal aren't going to win the league, but I would never take the loss ever at a loss just so that another team, so that Arsenal don't have a more difficult time winning the league if it hurts our own. It's like cutting your nose to spite your face. I don't get it. And there's a couple of people in my WhatsApp group that are like, you're wrong. You're on the wrong side of history on this one. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wrong side of history.
Tottenham fans in the chat. Like, how do you feel about this, Johnny? How do you feel about it, mate?
Well, listen, not just Tottenham fans, any fan. Would you want, if you're a Villa fan, would you want your rival? Would you want to lose to your rival? So if you're a Villa fan and your rival to Villa, would you rather lose to Villa to stop Villa winning? Or if you were Man United, would you rather lose to your rival?
Would you rather lose to Arsenal? Would you rather lose to Arsenal so that Manchester City don't catch you?
No, because what I'd rather do is I'd rather beat Man City and beat Arsenal. That's what I'd rather do. I'd rather beat them both.
100%. But like for me, like especially when we're 8 points away from relegation, and the fact is that we have a decent record against City. I'm all about beating City. I couldn't give a fuck about Arsenal. Couldn't care less about them.
Now
ask me. We won last night. The momentum to me, you have to try and build on it. And if the fan base are like okay with this, I think it's terrible. It's awful.
You now ask me the question: do I think we will beat Man City on Sunday?
No, well, that's different. But are you rooting for City? You're not rooting for City to win.
No. But I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry if City beat us. But I would hope to win. You know, I would hope to win. They've got Doku's out. He's broken down again. His calf's gone again. So that will be a help. But they've still got Semenyo and they've still got.
I don't get it, mate. I don't get it. You want City to batter us? It's so weird.
Listen, everyone to their own. Yeah. Everyone to their own.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But like, I'm not on board it at all. I'm not on board it. And people
what
saying that like
Solanke's finish.
What about it?
Solanke's finish last night. I thought it was a very good finish. Yeah. Sort of Kane-esque. I'm not comparing him to Harry Kane, by the way.
Composed, yeah, composed. Finds the corner. Again, he's a player that people, for whatever reason, have written off because he, for me, was a sacrificial lamb under Ange in his first season. A lot of the goals that Brennan Johnson got wouldn't have happened had it not been for the selflessness of what he had to do in that role. And then this season, he's been out injured, but he's come back. He scored 2 goals in 3 games whilst playing, more minutes than he probably should. He looks composed. He looks like he can connect the dots and be a part of the game. I think Dominic Solanke is a very competent player, and I think if he can stay fit, I think that in a system that actually rewards forwards for being forwards, I think that he'll do very well. I think he might get us 6-7 goals in the next in the tail end of the season. I think that will be a really good return, and I think he might end up getting us out of trouble.
Hang on 1 second, Sean. Literally 1 sec. Carry on, Mike.
Yeah, look, I mean, I love what everyone's saying. Solanke is my boy, says Jordan. His technique is special. Yeah, I think Solanke, he finds the corners, mate. He finds the corners. When he hits, he didn't look like he placed it as well. He put his foot through it, but he just knows the angle of attack, right? And I think he's gonna, if he can stay fit, I think he is going to really help us in the next sort of 10, 15 games, if he can. But we have to manage him because we don't have anybody else that can come in for at least the next 6 weeks. So
what would you say if Mateta was to come back? Richie, speaking to the people today, is about 2.5, 3 weeks away from coming back.
That all is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what would Mateta bring to Spurs? Would it enable Spurs to have, for example, Richie and Solanke in the Champions League squad, but at the same time have Mateta to play in the league? Or would you swap one of those players out for Mateta? Should we sign him?
Yeah, look, for me, a fully fit Jean-Philippe Mateta. Listen, it depends if we get someone else in, right? Depend. Like, I will. We'll see. The window shuts before we have to reshuffle the squad. So I'm worried. I'm more concerned about, is there value? Like, do you value Jean-Philippe Mateta as a Tottenham player? And I think
not at 40 million. Not at 40 million.
You don't think so at 40 million?
I think it's coming up 29. I don't know. Maybe. Listen.
I like him. I like Mateta. I think he's better than Richarlison all day long. I think he connects the dots. He is a streaky player, bit of streaky bacon, but when he's on and he's firing, he's physical, he's fast. He can very physical guy. He can hold the ball up. He's big. He's tall. He's strong. He offers something different as well, and he's got a nice first touch. He can link the play, and I think he'll get in. I think he'll be a good player for us, especially.
But what does he need? Yeah, the one thing he needs, Mateta. Sorry, Sean. The one thing he needs is what we don't have, is that creative left winger who's whipping balls into the box. He thrives on that. I mean, since Eze has left QPR and Ismail Sarr has been injured and Munez has been injured, he's had very little service, and he's been dealing with a knee injury. I'm just a bit worried that, he's playing with a knee injury and he hasn't had that service. Is that why he's been a little bit off this season? I'm not sure. But it looks like Crystal Palace are about to complete the deal and spend £50 million on Strand Larsen. 50 mil.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? 50 million for him, 40 million for Mateta. For me, there's no comparison. I don't know if
23, isn't it? 22, 23.
Yeah, but I just don't see anything in Strand Larsen, really.
No, I agree.
To be honest, I put him in my fantasy league at the very start of the season only because I'd run out of money on other players, and he's done nothing this season. He's moody. He's not nowhere near the version of him last season. I think you saw one good year from a 22, 23-year-old last season in a Wolves team that had sort of the decent components around it. I don't rate Strand Larsen. I wouldn't want Strand Larsen to Tottenham. Would I be okay? Would I be okay with Mateta coming in? 100% I would. But I also sit there, and part of that opinion is based on what I look at around the striker market. We're not going to get a Julian Alvarez. We're not going to sign someone who's 80, 90 million quid who's worth that. So the only way you're going to see an 80 million pound signing come to Tottenham is if you go and take a massive punt on a kid like Samu Agahawa, who for me hasn't done anything. He might end up being a fantastic player. He might be, but he hasn't done anything against top opposition to make you sit there and say, yeah, he's worth that sort of money. And look how much Victor Gyökeres has struggled at
100%.
He had twice the output of
who's doing Palace's recruitment right now, because I have to question it, because since Dougie Freeman's gone, right? I mean, they've come in and they've signed Strand Larsen and Brennan Johnson, and they're letting go Mateta, Eze, Walton will be gone, right? It's gone from physical players who control the ball to lightweights. I consider both of them lightweights.
Matt Hobbs is the guy who's gone there. Matt Hobbs joined them in late 2025. His first signing was Brennan Johnson, and his second signing is going to be Strand Larsen.
Mate,
what a hob!
What a hob! A hobnob, right? Honestly, I think he's made a real mistake. Tell me something. Who's the lucky person that's going to end up with Raheem Sterling? Thankfully, he was on a plane, Sean, and not in a car coming to London.
Yeah.
Not sure where he's
I don't know where Raheem Sterling is going to end up, mate, to be honest. I honestly...
Turkey? Turkey, maybe?
No, I think he'll stay in the Premier League.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, he's one of those players, a bit like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that every fan is praying that he doesn't sign for their club. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But there's quite a lot of news out there, guys. If you're in the chat, please hit the like button, and if you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button. I'll tell you who is doing business, though. He might not be doing business at Spurs, but he's certainly doing business for Fiorentina, and that is our man Paratici. And Fiorentina have contacted West Ham about signing English defender Kyle Walker-Peters and French midfielder Songatu Magassa from the Hammers. I think that would be about his fifth or sixth signing, isn't it? If he manages to pull that off.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I just something's come up in my chat. I'm just trying to figure out two things at the same time here.
Okay, no worries, mate. I'll carry on.
Yeah, can you carry on for just 2 seconds? Give me 2 seconds, and I'll be back.
Kenan Yildiz is now close to extending his contract with Juventus. It's been subject of interest from clubs in the Premier League, but his focus has always been Juventus. Could have fooled me because he was asking them for, I think it was 5 million net, I think he was asking for, which Juventus are struggling with. As we know, they're not blessed with money at the moment, Italian clubs, especially Juventus. So that's an interesting one. Paris Saint-Germain have opened negotiations to try and extend Luis Enrique's contract due to interest and Manchester United trying to get in contact with Enrique's representatives. I can't see him going. His current deal expires in 2027. I can't see Enrique leaving PSG to go to Manchester United unless it's some mega offer. But PSG are now looking to tie him down to extend his deal.
I thought he was given like some freedom of the club deal where he's allowed to stay as long as he wanted or something.
There's talk, Sean. It's all talk. It's all talk. Lots of talk. The other deal, another news. Aston Villa and Leeds are among several Premier League clubs pushing hard to sign Fulham's in-form winger Harry Wilson, who is set to become a free agent in the summer. Now, that's going to be an interesting one. Can you see him going in this window? Because Fulham are doing a lot of business right now. Are they preempting doing the deals now and selling him? Because they're going to get nothing in the selling
him, but if they do, they could end up jeopardizing 30 million, 20 million quid out of European football that they could easily do with. I'm not like, I'll be entirely honest. I think he's been on a streaky run of form, but let's be honest. 3 months ago, no one was talking about Harry Wilson. Now all of a sudden, everyone's talking about Harry Wilson. I mean, what are we doing here? He's had a bit of form.
Listen, he was Liverpool. Look, he's come through from Liverpool, right? And he's ended here. It's not like he's got no background. But listen, Sean, some people come through at an early stage of their life and they've all the razzmatazz and the hoo-ha, okay? And then they
28 years old though, mate. And like
I know, I'm just saying there are players that come in and fade into the distance. And there are those who, as the sun is setting, suddenly they find their mojo, Jamie Vardy. There's loads of players. And there's other players who, look, we've seen it before. Look in the Premier League, how many players are hyped up and they're going like this. And all of a sudden, 24, 25, suddenly it plateaus and then dives. We've seen it before. And the opposite is also true.
Hugo is the best example of that.
Well, I mean,
Jeff
absolutely.
Horsfield, another Fulham player that was a late bloomer. Do you remember Jeff Horsfield was playing non-league football? Do you remember Jeff Horsfield?
Yeah,
he was playing non-league football at the age of like 25, and then he got a gig somewhere, did really well, then went on to Fulham. He was a proper late bloomer, used to score a few goals, and of course, you could maybe make the same argument for Jamie Vardy. He was a bit of a late bloomer as well, wasn't he?
That's it. Sure. Do you want to do the super chats while I'll give us some more transfer stuff?
Big up to you, Paul. Paul de Burden.
Say my name.
Paul de Burden felt her up in the Uber. Felt her up in the Uber. Cancelled. Say my name. What is this? Big up to you, mate. Paul de Baden. Oh, I get it now. Paul de Bird. Oh, Paul de Bird and felt her up in the Uber.
Yeah. He's spent a long time on that one.
Sensational. Took me a while to get that one up. Big up to you, mate. Big up to you, Cat Fun. Big up to you. Chudini's in the house as well. Chudini's in the house. Choo to you. Chudini. Always.
No sound.
To you, my man. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. What is crack-a-lacking with Roy Viking? He says, totally serious. Spurs should put money on the table and go and buy Hoga from Bodo Glimt.
Well, I like him, but Sean was saying to me that he'd already, did you say to me, or is it the other one? Hogo had actually already come to Europe and didn't do so great. I know Patrick Berg didn't
one of them has had a stint at Ghent and Milan, and they went back, and I'm not sure which one it is. And it's not Hoga. So this guy you're talking about is not the guy who is. It's Hogh, Hogh. That's the guy who's about to go to Norwich for 7 million smackaroonies. So
what about the other guy, Hogo? Or whatever
so
his name is?
this guy that he's talking about, Hogo, is not the guy going to Norwich. But
Yeah.
I think it's this one that's already had stints at Milan and Ghent or Genk, one of those two, and he ended up going back. I think that's the case. But all the names are all the same, aren't they, mate? You know, very similar. Big up to you. Big up to you. Listen, I don't know, mate. I think he's a very good player, but I think sometimes these players are just very good in certain systems when they understand.
Well, he scored some cracking goals, Sean.
Yeah,
he's obviously got, Patrick Berg was another player of Bodo Glint last season who was much lauded, but had gone to Europe and not made it and gone back. But I quite like Hogo, I think his name was, who scored a couple against us, scored against Man City, could have had a second at Man City, hit the bar, and I think scored again last night. Go on, let's do the next one. Sorry, buddy.
So Eamon O'Shea says, Sean, I watch games from all over every week. I can tell you the name, but only in private. I have messaged you on Insta. Okay. Not sure what that's
very cryptic.
I'll certainly check out your message, mate. Be up to you, buddy.
Very Agatha Christie. Huh?
Yeah, not sure what you're saying there, but I'll certainly have a look-see. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much for that, though. And Tom Jackson says, Strand Larsen for 50 mil ski. Thoughts? If it's the thoughts for going to Tottenham, I'm saying no. If it's thoughts of going to Palace, I'm fine with him going to Palace if it means that Mateta comes to Tottenham. That's what I would say about that. But yeah, I don't rate him for 50 million quid. I don't think he's a 50 million pound player.
I think their director of football will be out on his ear, having spent 85, 90 million pound on Strand Larsen and Brennan Johnson. Yeah. Big up, mate. Big up on you.
Big up to you, Donut. You're making a concerted effort to try to bring back
relegated.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go. Dave saying this. Hoga was in Ghent and assisted the tea lady there. Maybe he wasn't ready back then.
Maybe. Dave. That's Dave Peters. That's Dave from Belgium. Big up, Dave.
Big up, Dave. How you doing, mate? Heard a lot about you, my man. Heard a lot about you. Big up to you. Sliding in Sean's DMs, yeah. I think Palace really need their man back from Saudi, don't they, Johnny?
Yeah. I think. But listen, I think Dougie's moved on now. He's moved on from Parish. I'm afraid. I
can't. Apart from getting all the gold you can eat, though, I can't imagine that being in Saudi Arabia, like, it's as fun as being a Premier League sort of DOF scout.
No, listen. I think not, but with the chance to secure your family's future for a couple of generations, and the amount of money that he's been offered, it's an overall sporting thing over various sports within the club. It's obviously a very attractive. Well, it would have to have been very attractive for him to have left the Premier League with his reputation. I mean, he was up for the director of football job at Man United. Until Wilcox got it. I think we got another super chat there. I think it's Roy's coming again.
Big up to you, Roy. He said, that's true, but it's irrelevant. What were we saying?
Yeah.
What's that about? About the player going to Milan and that and Ghent.
Yeah, maybe he's right. Maybe it wasn't his time. He wasn't ready. So
one thing I know for sure is usually we sit there and kind of land on, well, look, if the Tottenham scouts don't rate him, then maybe they see something that we don't and everything. But of late, I'm just sitting there going, I don't know what it is that the scouts are seeing in Ademola Lookman that doesn't make that one make sense. I don't know what the scouts are seeing, why we didn't go after, I don't know, for example, Neves, a ball-playing midfielder. I'm starting to question whether or not Rob McKenzie really is worth having. I don't know how he avoids the criticisms and the critique and the scrutiny that everybody else at the club seems to get,
Listen, I think Johan Lang, if he's working in the shadows, he needs to come out of it now. I mean, I think Thomas Frank clearly said that he needs his players in early That's before he lost 5 players. I mean, I think we've lost, is it 5? We've lost Johnson. We've lost Richarlison. We've lost Bentancur. We've lost, who else have we lost? Bergval. Who else have we lost? Porro, we've lost.
Yeah. Mickey van der Ven.
Mickey van der Ven.
Is he back? Is he going to be back for City?
I wouldn't be risking him. I wouldn't be risking him if the hamstring goes.
You need him. Is that? What's the knock that he took? It wasn't. Was it a hammy?
Listen, it's a knock, but let's be honest. Can we afford for him to go out? We haven't recruited a left centre back. Still, 2 seasons in. Yeah.
Look, Kevin Danso's doing a splendid job anyway. So, you know.
He is at the moment. One player who is it's going to be interesting one if this ever happens. Several unnamed Premier League clubs have submitted offers exceeding 100 million euros for Jude Bellingham in the last couple of weeks. Real Madrid could consider accepting one if the midfielder's performance failed to improve. Why, if he's not performing well, which he's not under Arbeloa, why would you bid 100 million? Are you thinking that he's just not happy there, or what? Or is his ego being around the likes of Vinicius Junior? I don't think it's been a great move there because he was quite grounded and mature for his age. And I'm just wondering, being around those fucking idiots who just think that they control the football club, Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo Goes, and all the rest of it, and he's been hanging around with those guys, has got illusions of grandeur and forgetting his grounding, because he's definitely not doing it at the moment. Definitely not.
I think definitely what Gareth Bale said, I think, was absolutely spot on when he said, you know, the reason like Xabi Alonso might be a great coach, but at Real Madrid, you haven't got to be a good coach. There's enough talent there to play football. You haven't got to teach anyone anything. You've just got to manage their egos. And I think that you're probably right, mate, that the egos in that team make the whole place toxic. 100 million quid, though, is a lot of money, isn't it? A lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, but maybe
his family's a bit of a fucking bellend. Like Joe Bellingham thinks that he's above his weight. He's above, you know, what was it? Someone said to us as he walked off the pitch against Tottenham, someone said, if your name wasn't Bellingham, you'd be a bus.
Yeah, you'd be a taxi, an Uber driver or something, really. It's probably right. Maybe he'd be right. Super. I don't know. That's to his brother. Yeah. Job, wasn't it? It was Joe Bellingham.
Yeah, but I think, but listen, Jude Bellingham's clearly like a phenomenal footballer, phenomenal physique and everything. But yeah, listen, I think that family and the fact that the parents think they can just walk into the dressing room at Dortmund, except all that stuff. I just think the family seems to come across like a bit above their station, you know. So,
have you heard the song that they were singing as Spurs fans? 18th, you know the rest. We're going to Budapest.
Yeah. I was singing it last night.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting ahead of themselves, Sean. They're getting ahead of themselves. What's the name of the kid? Ashaya. I keep mentioning it. I've mentioned it to you before. I've been following him now since last year, where he was banging in goals for fun in our academy. Ashaya. He's got like 3-4 barrel name. So far this season, he's got 51 goals, Sean, and 14 assists. 51 goals. I've been following Ashaya
Houghton Sinclair.
Yeah, that's him. He is unbelievable. I mean, like he could actually be a bit of a phenomenon. I know he's in kids' football, but last season his numbers were insane. This season he's going to another level. Called up with England.
As of late 2025, he has gained attention for scoring over 65 goals in the previous season, continuing to record high goal involvements in 25-26, including an England under-15 call-up.
Yeah.
He has recorded over 50 goal involvements early in the 25-26 season. Wow.
Well, he's now at 65, Sean.
Wow. 65 goals or assists.
Yes. 51 goals, 14 assists.
Wow.
And we're in January. So keep an eye out for him. Keep an eye out for him. I mean, listen, he's a kid, but you know, when they're making ripples, you got to follow them. What other transfer stuff have you got there, Sean?
I don't think that's not too much more today. I think we've covered off the majority of it. Let me just have a quick look on the transfer feed.
Let's have a look now to see who else is
in the Premier League. You've got Raheem Sterling might be going to Brentford. That's an interesting one. Moussa Diaby linked with about 4 different clubs. Moussa Diaby of
where's he at now? He's not
Al Ittihad. He's over at Al Ittihad, isn't he? 26 years old, good player, who moved to Al Ittihad for £50 million last summer to several English clubs, including Unai Emery's side, to gauge the possibility of a January deal. According to sources who have been informed, certain other sources, the tax implications of a mid-season return to England made any move unworkable, causing Diaby's focus to shift to continental options. That's interesting. So players can leave Al Ittihad or leave Saudi Arabia and go to the continent without the tax implications. Like obviously Turkey probably,
but not to England.
Like but not to England. Our bloody tax system here is just
John Duran.
We're such a bunch of donuts, aren't we?
Yeah, it's John Duran, 75 million euros to Saudi. 6 months later, he's on loan in Turkey. You do the maths. Raheem Sterling's representatives are in talks today with 7 Champions League level clubs who want to sign him. Champions League level. That's a nice spin on the words. Apparently, he's fit and ready. For what, though? I'm not sure. And Palace are in talks to sign Gusand on loan from Aston Villa. Here's a player we thought would do better at Villa.
Who's going? Sorry, Evan Gusand's going Palace. Yeah. Is it Palace, you said?
No, are in talks with Aston Villa to loan him because he's not getting any game time.
Yeah, it's a shame he didn't. I think he was at Rennes, wasn't he? Or Stade Rennais, one of those two.
Nice, wasn't it?
Nice, was it? Yeah. He's a. He looked really good last season. And he has I'm surprised, disappointed he hasn't come in and done well.
Well, it's interesting, this one. Leeds were not willing to increase their offer above the £40 million that they offered for Strand Larsen. Leeds remain at the table for Strand Larsen, but they are not willing to go above the 40 million. But Crystal Palace are close to an agreement with the 50 million. I think Leeds are right there. I think, you've got to pull back. There's being desperate and there's being ridiculous. That is an absolutely ridiculous fee to be charging. Guys, hit the like and hit the subscribe button, guys. And if you're listening on audio, please hit the follow button. We're trying to grow that one. And if you get time, if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a little 5-star review. Doesn't take a second. Just hit 5-star and just put great show. Perfect.
Check the Doucouré's injured as well now. Fucking hell. They're mounting up. They are mounting up.
Who's that for? Villa, you mean?
Palace.
Oh, no. Palace, I mean. Sorry, yeah. Palace. Look. If they're buying, if Gusand is going and they're signing Strand Larsen, here we go. Okay, unbelievable. I think that's a shocking move. Shocking. Are Forest going to come in for Mateta? And is he going to make him bid? But I can't see Steve Parish doing any business with Marinakis after what Marinakis and John Textor did to Crystal Palace, getting them thrown out the league with the help of John Textor, who was a Palace director. I can't see them helping them in any shape, way or form, because let's be honest, if Palace carry on sinking, Forest could be passing them in the league.
Yeah.
I don't think they're out of it, Palace, at the moment.
I don't think so either, mate. I think that they're sinking faster than Tottenham. They've only got 2 draws in and no wins in 11 or something. 2 points from 33 in the league. They've really fallen off a cliff. Everything looks more toxic at that football club than it does at Tottenham, and that's a push. Interesting that Inter have had 2 buyback clauses in the deal with Club Brugge for Stankovic, that player we were looking at, the midfielder.
Yeah.
He's,
I love him,
million. So Inter have been closely monitoring his development in recent months. £23 million for the summer of 2026 and £25 million for the summer of 2027. So he's still at Club Brugge, obviously, but they can wait and see how good he gets. And so this is clever. I don't know why other teams aren't doing this more. Right? This what Real Madrid are doing with Como. Right, they loan out all their best young talent, and they just put like you can basically have him on an indefinite loan. We'll let you have him for 3 million quid or something, but if he turns out to be a superstar, we'll get him back in a year's time for 6 million, or 2 years' time for 7 million, and 3 years' time for 8 million. You know, if Tottenham are going to sell someone like an Olasisi, that's what they should be doing. Like let them
100%.
let them find out. Same with we should have done it with bloody Troy Parrott, by the way, because he's got 20 goals this season, hasn't he, Troy Parrott?
It's mad, yeah. Listen, Dave sent me something on the Stankovic situation. He's translated, Club Brugge has managed to build in some security in an attempt to avoid stress and uncertainty at the end of the summer transfer window. They've arranged for Inter to sign Stankovic only if they have signed an agreement with the player by the first 2 weeks of June. So there's a deadline, and Stankovic still needs to agree to terms with Inter. But of course, he can earn more there than in Bruges, where he's contracted until 2029, and his salary and signing bonuses total 1.2 million euros gross. This isn't normal, and the sports chief showers praise on the Bruges side, the pitch side. Club Bruges isn't entirely safe with that deadline, however, because there's still a way Inter can sign Stankovic later in the summer if Club Brugge receives an offer from another club and accepts it. Inter will have a few days to buy him back for the agreed upon fee. So we should have been in all over Stankovic, Sean.
But how long has those deals have clearly been in there for a while, though, right? So like that's probably why, like you sit there, same with Tottenham wasting their time bidding 80 million quid for Nico Paz, and then Real Madrid saying no, don't do that. Because even if they accepted the bid, Real Madrid would have got 50% of it. So Como would have got 40 million and they would have got 40 million. But then Real Madrid said, no, we'd rather just buy you back ourselves for 8 million and then sell him, or keep him or whatever else, right? And then Paz goes, yeah, if you want me to stay, I'll stay. I'll go back to Real Madrid. Do that all day long. It's the same with if that Stankovic deal is, because he came through the Inter youth system, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
So obviously that transfer, they're thinking ahead. It's smart. It's really smart. I think you should. Maybe those things are embedded in all the contracts. You just don't hear about them until these players emerge and kick on. And maybe that's the case. But if they're not,
I'm laughing, Sean, because that's every club except Spurs.
Every club
who don't read their contracts when they try and sell a player.
Yeah. We forget the clauses we put in and leave out the ones we should put in.
Correct. So, he's a £10 million player that's stuck at Rosario Central in Argentina, when we could have £10 million in our coffers. We have spent, with the amount of money, Sean, that Spurs have bought in from this Champions League run, phenomenal amounts of money, way more than they ever made getting to the final and winning the Europa League already. Plus, getting through to the knockout stages, TV money, our standing in the what's the name of it now? Our standing in the
coefficient,
the coefficient rating in Europe because of our win and how many wins we've had this year means that we get more TV money as well, pro rata. So we're interested to see, but the club aren't spending it.
We don't know. We don't know what's going on. This is the thing. We don't know. We know that we haven't spent the money, but just because there's no links. It's driving me up the fucking wall. I hate it. There's no links to get our teeth stuck into. But all of these stories do sort of manifest out of nowhere. Just wait for Ornstein to drop something.
But why are we doing it, Sean? We've lost 5 players. Surely urgency. When you see other clubs who have suddenly lost the player, they're banged straight into the transfer market. They don't fuck around.
Yeah.
We are messing around. What's the point? Are you going to sign him on deadline day after we played Man City, right?
Lose 2 more players, and then
yeah. No time to acclimatise. Anyway, I think that's about it, Sean.
Yeah, appreciate everyone for stopping by. Thank you for
big up, Wolves.
Sean is so toxic. Sean is so balanced. Why his chat is never toxic. It's all good chat. Yeah, we don't like toxicity.
My chat as well, guys. My chat as well.
It's Johnny's chat as well. Yeah. Big up to you all, guys.
It might be his chairman. It might be his chairman, but it's our chat.
No donuts in the chat allowed, guys. No donuts in the chat allowed. Love you all. We will see you tomorrow, hopefully. And smash the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed. And comments in the comment section, as always, are welcome. Guys, we'll see you later on. It's goodbye from me.
It's goodbye from him. And don't forget our sponsor. Don't forget our sponsor, guys.
There it is. Code 15.
Okay,
code
Jersey.
Think15. Code Think15 gets you an extra 15% off or 15% off instead. Appreciate them. I like that hoodie, by the way, Johnny. Guys,
Thanks
see you later. Bye.
Bye.